Good morning. Sorry, my mouse isn't working. Hey, welcome. Good morning. We are going to go ahead and dive all the way in. Oh my gosh. I didn't even write a thing. Welcome. So glad that you are here this morning. You continuing to show back up here means this message hit you, means you want to change your life, means there's something that you are sitting on that is worth everything. And you can't keep ignoring it. If you keep showing back up, that's what it means. Okay? Just in case you didn't know. And if you're just here because, I don't know, you read something crazy somewhere that this person just quit their job to do this full time and that's blowing your mind and you're going to keep listening and watching to figure out how they're doing that, show back up. I will show you. Whatever this is, I want you to be a part of it. We're doing this every day, 5 days a week. You can be here for this message to change your life in some way, shape, or form. That's what we're going to cover today. First, we are going to start with your great thing. So my great thing is that I don't know, nobody goes to school for this. Nobody tells you that this is a path that you can take, right? And by and large, when people comment on, oh, you're doing what? Oh, whoa, that's crazy, right? Because this isn't a normal path. But it is 100% a path. And if anyone's telling you that it's not, that you can't start a podcast or you can't write a book or you can't start a YouTube video, I'm going to go ahead and challenge that. I literally watch my kids watch 4 or 5 girls who literally make the most ridiculous videos I've ever seen in my life. And I guarantee those girls are making triple figures, if not more. Like, there is so much possibility in this world for you to go do these things. I am telling you. This is not a joke. So, my great thing, here is proof. Here's the social proof you've been looking for. Does this lady know what she's talking about? Can you really just want to speak, start betting on yourself, start a podcast, start a blog, start a YouTube series? Here you go, people. Want me to serve this one up on a platter for you? My great thing is that I've officially broken into a top 100 podcast chart. Yup. Do you know how I did that? Let's see. She must be some sort of fabulous marketing guru. Now, there's no question. I came from marketing. That's what I did as a full-time job. Okay? This is what I'll say. If you found me, I want you to remember how you found my information. Okay? And I want you to go back today. If you found it by a post, if you found it by something, right? But mainly a post. Read that post. Now, in that post, did I anywhere say what the title of my podcast was? Nope. Did I even mention the fact that I had a podcast? Nope. Right? So here's the thing. You can tell a story. Do you want to know what happens when you tell a story versus violently vomit what you're doing on people? People connect with stories. Now, I come from the marketing world, and I will tell you, exiting that world was hard. But you know what was actually harder than that exit? Sitting there, having to change things that I knew to be true, things that I knew I believed, having to change that approach every single day because people weren't where I was. Because honestly, what I saw over my time, 10 years as a marketing strategist, is that we could invest every single dollar that we had to market a service. We could put the prettiest pictures up. We could have the best campaign. It could be artistic, it could be beautiful, and every single penny of that would be wasted on someone answering the phone wrong. Or them walking in and having someone be rude to them when they got off the elevator. Right? The story that you tell around what you're doing, right? And that happens within your walls, outside of your walls. If your building looks crazy or if it looks crappy, right? That's your story. You think that it's the $50,000 that you just spent on a campaign that's telling your story. You are wrong every time. It's how people answer the phone. It's how people treat you when you're in that appointment. It's how people interact with you. But it is not the money you spend on marketing. I guarantee it. It is in the story that you write. And so, as I sat as a professional marketer, go me, wow, look at you, go girl. And I would constantly be told, no, not right, not true, just put up pretty pictures, just do the marketing, just do what we're asking you to. I kept sitting there going, no, because it's not right. And instead of sitting there and constantly being told that I'm not right, or that, yeah, you're right, but we kind of got to do it this way, right? So instead of sitting there and listening to that, I just started creating my own thing and following my own path and believing so true in this idea that if you just tell a story, people will listen. You will never market a day in your life. And you want to know what you're really good at? Telling your own story. Do you know why? 'Cause it's yours. Do you want to know what else is beneficial about telling your story? Is that it can't be copied. Literally, it is your story. It's yours. Which means you'll show up authentic in this world. Which means people can copy you, but you aren't copying anyone because this is yours. Yeah, drink that in. So, my great thing is we officially broke into a top 100 podcast. That's my great thing. Okay? And yesterday I talked about being brave. And how I wish that everyone knew all the things that I had to do to get here. But bottom line, if you don't think that you can do something like this, if you don't think that you can bet on yourself, you're wrong. I just got proof yesterday. I started recording a year and a half ago. This podcast every day. Just truly believing and trusting this idea that if you just keep going, if you just keep telling your story, if you just keep moving, you can do this. And I just committed to that. committed to that hustle. I committed to doing that. And yesterday was the first proof point of many to come that this is possible. And I didn't believe it. For the longest time, I would tell myself, no, you can't do this. You're being ridiculous. Please stop. It's just embarrassing. Please stop. Oh my gosh. And you know what? Last night I had that same thought come back into my head. Hanna, you should just stop. You should really just get a normal job, because this is going to be super hard. People are laughing at you. You realize that, right? And this is playing in my head, and I just keep fighting that battle. Like, no, just stop. It's super embarrassing. You're never going to get where you want to go. This is what I can tell you. You don't know where you're going. But if you feel fire, if you wake up and you love what you're doing, that is worth pursuing. That is worth waking up and doing before you go into your day job. I guarantee it. And if you can just make a sacrifice today that can lead you closer to where you want to go, it is going to be worth it every time. And I can't guarantee that you'll be successful at all. But I can guarantee that if you try, if you really give it everything that you have, you'll at least figure out if that's a path you want to go down or not. When I started my podcast, I never published because I didn't want to be one of those people who did something and then stopped. Right? So when I started, I really just committed to this idea that I would just get in a habit of doing it. And I created that habit. And I got up every day. Right? And then I was like, oh, you know what? This is something that sets my soul on fire. This is something I would wake up at 3 a.m. to do. And so I just did that. Right? And I just kept expanding when I got the opportunity. And I learned as I went, but I was fueled to keep learning because I figured out that this is something that I enjoy doing. When's the last time that you gave an honest commitment to trying something before you gave up because you didn't get instantly famous? Sometimes we try things, but we don't actually try them. You don't have to do it publicly, right? I tested whether or not this was going to be the right platform for me for 3 months before I did anything. First off, I don't know how to publish a podcast, right? When's the last time that you hustled on something that you just thought you might want to do? Do you just want to knit? Are you willing to just knit? Just do it every day. Right? And then if you enjoy that, if you could enjoy doing it every day, if you could enjoy producing at a rapid rate, if you could enjoy doing it enough, and you see that you're creating something, that you're enjoying this, that this is what you want to do, then maybe you create that Etsy shop. Right? And then maybe you start putting it out there because you've realized that this is something you could actually do. Right? Not, this is something that I could actually make $1 million off of. This is something that I actually enjoy doing. And then just take the next step forward. Stop thinking that you have to have the end goal in mind. I can guarantee you that this girl sitting right here talking to you right now, a year and a half ago when I just started recording blindly in my studio, my spare bedroom, right? In Iowa, in small town Iowa, smaller than you're even thinking right now in your mind, take what you consider to be small and shrink it down 3 times. Okay? Do you think that that person sitting here just doing this work would ever think, Someday I'm gonna rank in the podcast rankings. Do you think a person would do that? Right? But last week I told you that the internet is a great equalizer because guess what? Guess what you didn't know before I just told you? Right? Said I'm sitting in a super small town in Iowa and recording this podcast. Huh? You think that it's not equal. You think that it's not possible, but I guarantee you it is. Do you want to know why I can make that guarantee? Because yesterday, I saw what can happen. Right? And you're sitting there and you're going, what's the top 100 podcast? Oh, what's the big deal? Go ahead and ask yourself what you ranked in lately. What you charted on. Right? What's the big deal? People. Come on. It's a big deal. It doesn't just happen. Right? So, go ahead, take time to recognize yourself for your great thing. And if you're having an issue swallowing this idea that I would come on here and talk about how great I am every day, here's why. Because we need more proof points. And you need to see the behavior modeled. This is something we all struggle with, right? It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you. It is not ever going to hurt you to be able to talk confidently about the things that you do. In fact, I think that we're struggling with the opposite side of that, not being able to do that, which is why we do it every day. Okay? Great. And if you can't cheer someone on authentically for doing amazing things, come on. Why? There's room for all of us. Okay? And that's not what this community is about. We are about whole, loving support of one another, doing whatever it is. You coach on the same things I coach on? Great. Welcome. That's amazing. You know why? Oh, I don't know. Because I think about all the times that I was coached in sports and I would hear the same thing over and over and over again from one coach. And then I might go to another practice or a different scrimmage and I might hear the same exact thing from another coach, but they said one word different. And for some reason it clicked. That's what I'm talking about, right? Maybe I was just in the right mental state there. Maybe I had just seen someone do what I did, and so it finally clicked and made sense. I want you to increase the level of places you're hearing this from. Because you might recognize yourself in my story, and you might need Glennon Doyle to really pull out your authentic, creative, loving side. Or you might need Jen Hatmaker to really hear what you need to hear, right? In a different way. Keep going and keep growing. Keep pulling from different resources. There are 100 million motivators out there. And so if you're sitting here still hoping that you find the right message, one message isn't going to be enough. I can promise you this is life work. This is you banking on yourself. This is you uncovering and recovering from all the hurt that you've had your whole life. Come on. It's going to take you showing up every day and telling yourself to just shut the fuck up and go do it. Right? And I wanted to boo-hoo all night for myself last night. And I don't have that option. You know why? Because you're all here now. I had that option 6 months ago when no one was listening. Do you hear me? 6 months ago, when I would wake up every morning and I would say, oh, should I keep going? Like 3 people listened yesterday. Oh my gosh, I suck. I must suck. No, you don't. Because it's not about who listens. It's about you. Do you have energy from doing this thing? Is this actually what you want to fucking do? Right? Then go. Then live. Then do it. But don't stop because no one's paying fucking attention. Nobody's gonna pay attention. That's a part of it. Did you stop when you were 3? No, you just did it because you like doing it. That's what I want for you. I want you to just like doing something and go do it. Period. We live in this world where it's like villainized for you to enjoy what you do every day. How dare them? How dare them enjoy this thing we call work? You know what? Do you know what actually sucks? It actually sucks to show up for something you don't want to do. That actually sucks. To do that every day of your life. That sucks. I can't tell you enough that if you keep pressing the gas pedal down, that you will get there. You will. And you'll stop showing up for fine. But if you stop just because no one's paying attention, you will not have a chance. Nobody's going to pay attention. Do people come to your fucking practices? No, they come to your championship game. But if you can commit to the practice, I guarantee you'll get there. I fucking guarantee it. There is not a question in my mind. But you can't just not practice and expect to go win a championship. And expect to have all the fans in the fucking world. That's dumb. Come on. Right? But everybody just expects you to be this big, huge thing. And you know what? Tomorrow, if you don't go viral, you might as well turn it all off. You know what? I got it. I'm tired of my life. I want to go be a motivational speaker. I want to rescue myself from the humdrum of my day. I want to do this thing. And I'm going to post one video. I'm going to post one video on YouTube, and if that doesn't go viral, then I'm going to put that thing away forever. Here's the thing. If you know what that thing is, it will come back. And it will stalk you, and it will create so much pain in your life trying to deny and close the fucking door on that thing. It will create so much pain that you can't ignore it anymore. And the more that you try, the sicker you will get. Test me. Do you know how I know? Oh yeah, you got that right. Because I tried doing it. Because I tried forcing it, right? And I would say to myself, no, coach volleyball, that's in your lane. Stay in your lane. You might like this thing about that, this like coaching and developing girls, and this is comfortable and this is safe, and that's where you should be. And the more that I tried living in that world, the more that I tried going there and committing to that, the more pain I felt trying to do that work. And you know what that was? That was the universe. That was God. That was whoever you want that to be telling me no. No. while this was a beautiful piece of the pattern of your life, while that was such an important piece of the puzzle, that is not your end goal. Got it? And if you keep trying to sign up and say, this is good enough, this is good enough, this makes sense, this is the path, I will get you out of here. Right? And how many times do we ignore those simple calls that are just like, nope, hey, get out. It's okay. Just let it go. Just let it go. And we ignore it. And we ignore it to the point where we can't ignore it anymore because it's literally putting us in hospital beds to try to get us to pay attention. Have you been ignoring it? Is the world trying to tell you something and you are just turning your ears off? Because going the other route probably is pretty hard and you're just trying to avoid that? Wake up. I am sitting here telling you my story every day of rescuing myself from, you guessed it, the title of this podcast, the death of my dream. Not once, but twice. And the second time, it didn't look like a death. It looked like, oh, I've already done everything that I set out to do in life. And that idea was crushing my soul. Me not having dreams or goals for my life. Right? And so I made myself sit down for the last 3 years and try to figure out what the fuck I wanted to do. And this podcast was part of that discovery. I didn't know, but I sure as hell wasn't going to sit here and just let life happen to me anymore. No, thank you. Right? Do you want to just keep sitting and bitching about all the things you wish that you could do that you don't have the opportunity to do? I'm with you. That was me. Do you feel like I'm yelling at you right now? Yes. Do you know why? Because I wish someone had yelled at me fucking 15 years ago and said, no, you can do it. You can. And you should start today. Today. Right? And a year ago, I just said, I don't know, but this feels good. And I followed that. And I can tell you, if you go back to any of the past podcasts, it gets pretty miserable out there. But I kept going, even when there was zero, because it felt good. Because this is something that I wanted to do, and I can promise you, the second that I started opening that closet door to let that thing out, this thing that I knew about me, was the second that my soul just settled. And it just said, this is the good place. This is you. Right? And the outpouring of what that looks like is like this whole new unleashed self. Right? And this person that I want to be. But I didn't know what I wanted to be. Right? And if you feel yourself in those shoes, this is what I'm here to tell you. You can be anything. I don't care where you are at. I don't care what you are doing. If you are actually willing to do that thing, if you have something in your head, and I promise you, you do. That's the main comment that I saw. Oh, I want to do that thing. Do you actually? Then start testing it. There is nothing against you testing it, right? And I started this with saying, hey, did you read that blog post? Did you see that thing? And if you did you notice that I didn't market to you? I told you my story. You went out and found it. You asked, and then I shared it. Right? But I told a story first. You can tell your story. You can do your thing. And you deserve it. And if you don't, my bigger fear for you is that the discomfort of you not choosing yourself will harm you for the rest of your life. As always, you're smart, you're strong, you're beautiful. What are you going to do? Change the world. Hey, welcome to today's episode. Whoosh, this girl gets a little bit unleashed, but I am telling you, the world is so full of opportunity, especially right now, right? That if you don't start doing the thing that you want to do, I'm so scared for you. I'm scared for you. Because I have felt the anxiety-filled world that comes with you shutting your soul's work out. You know what it is. Right? And I know that on the scary side of that is the fact that you are going to have to be a beginner in something again. On the scary side of that is the fact that you are going to have no one caring about what you do. But you can't win a championship without putting in the practice. And at the end of the day, whether you are successful or not, and I ask that you write down what actual success looks like in this for you before you start, right? But whether you're successful, in quotations, whether you're successful or not, I want you to stay with it. Because at the end of the day, you'll, one, at least know that this is or isn't for you. Or two, you will find work that lights your entire soul on fire, and you will never stop figuring out how to do that thing because of the energy that you got from that work. Come on. You can keep settling for just fine. You can. No one's going to question it. Or you can do this thing. You can do work that allows you to be the person you've always wanted to be. You can, and you owe it to yourself. So today we are covering all things get over it and start moving. That's it. That's what we're covering. That's what you're here for. There is something in your soul calling you back to that work. That's what we're diving into today. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for this community. If you want to sign up for the 2-day limiting belief workshop, that we have going on, that kicks off tonight. I'm only allowing 50 people in because I can't handle that many comments yet. I don't have assistants and things. So I'm allowing 50 people. That is the max. Make sure that you go over to nussinc.com/coaching and sign up for that 2-day challenge. It's completely free, and the only thing that you will get is action steps to actually get past your limiting beliefs. They are going to hold you back, and you can outmotivate them for a little while, but once that wears off, you'll be back here wishing that you had gotten past these things before you started, so that you actually had a game plan to get over your limiting beliefs. Come on. So head over there, sign up for that challenge. That kicks off tonight at 7 p.m. We're just going to hop in a Zoom call and we're going to talk this stuff out. So make sure that you do that right after you listen to this podcast. I will put the link in the show notes in case you forget. Okay, I will see you there tonight. I'm so excited. If you hear this on another day, just know that we will be launching 2-day workshops every 4 weeks. Okay, so you always have an opportunity to hop into one of those. Thank you so much for being here and for being a part of this community. Let's dive in.